Well, during this divisive time in politics, it is easy to forget that come this summer, all Americans will unite behind one cause. Team USA. Athletes are currently preparing for the Olympic trials. And we learned about a very special track star who is pursuing her dream of going for the gold. But Sarah Brown had a unique hurdle to overcome. And that is the unexpected addition to her team, the birth of her daughter, Abigail. Jenna Lee, who is expecting, of course, her next child any day now, sat down to speak with Sarah about the surprise of a lifetime.
I was kind of struggling with my running, and that's why I ultimately went to the doctor to try and get to the bottom of what was happening. And so when I found out, there was a sense of relief and like, oh, I finally know what's wrong with my body, because I could tell something was off. But there was also, you know, a sense of joy because, you know, your first child, it's an exciting time, but it was also really scary. Ultimately, like, the journey has been incredible. We couldn't feel more blessed, and we just are so grateful now, you know, to be on the other side with our daughter. And it's such an amazing time in our lives, and we're just really excited to, you know, share this next stage of me training for the Olympic trials and everything as a family.
We have some incredible video and photos of you doing this training and hard training. Sarah, tell us a little bit about what was your routine during your pregnancy.
Well, for me, I mean, it was never a question of whether I would continue running, just because that's something I enjoy. It's something, it's part of who I am. And so as long as I could do it safely, and, you know, we checked our resources to make sure that everything I was doing was, you know, acceptable. And, you know, for me, it took a little bit. Pregnancy has a lot of unforeseen things pop up, and you have to be prepared to handle those. But we got in a really good routine towards, especially towards, you know, in that last third trimester of running about 4 days a week, and we really made those running days count. I was running 10 to 12 miles on those 4 days, 2 of them being like more workout sessions like hills or track intervals, and then 2 of them being longer runs. And then in between, I supplement it with Elliptigo, which is like an outdoor elliptical bicycle, but we had it on a stationary trainer, and I would do sessions on that and then swimming for those 3 days kind of in between. So that was my my routine, as much as you can have a routine for pregnancy. Right. You have to be prepared to adjust.
It is so true. Did any doctor or any health expert say, Sarah, I don't know if this is such a good idea?
Not the ones I was working with directly. You know, my body got pregnant doing the activity level, at the activity level I was at. And so a lot of people said, you know, like your body's prepared to handle that. Like you've trained for that. Your body's adjusted to that kind of workout load. So if you told me to go sit on the couch, that would actually be probably more detrimental to my health and the baby's health, because it's not what I was accustomed to doing.
Now, what did you learn about yourself as an athlete through this entire process?
I think that it's definitely going to make me tougher, because as my running actually got better during the 3rd trimester, but it was a lot more uncomfortable. Like you have this like awkward weight on the front, and then you know, constantly being kicked in the ribs, and it's pressure on your bladder, and there's just these little annoyances that you kind of just have to mentally block out.
What message do you want your daughter to take away from what you did while you were pregnant with her?
The message I really want her to take away is that she just shouldn't be afraid to go after what she wants, and just not be afraid to try, not be afraid to lay it on the line and put it out there and say, this is my goal, and it's an ambitious goal, but you know, that's what I'm working towards. And so I think, you know, I have a quote that I've always used in my running career that was, to ever achieve greatly, you have to dare to fail greatly. And so I think that's kind of the message, that, you know, just even though it looks like a lofty thing on the outside, and you might have people who are kind of like, what, you know, what do you really think you can do that? Like, is that really possible? You know, but just being able to persevere through some of that negativity and keep your eye on, what you want to accomplish.
We thought the interview ended there, but then we got an unexpected surprise. She is so cute. And we had one final question. There's a lot of perceptions about labor, Sarah, and I'm curious, how does labor compare to training for the Olympics? What's the real story there?
Well, when I will be honest, when I was pushing with her, my husband during the break looked at me and said, "How does this compare to a 1500?" And I said, "Well, at least I'm allowed to take a breath in the 1500. In this, they want you to hold in your breath." I was thinking about it as intervals, and each, you push on a contraction, and each contraction is one set of this many intervals or something, and that's how my mind was working. And there was one point where I wanted to look at Darren and be like, how many more intervals? I need to know. I need a number.
Well, it looks like everything worked out just fine, and you pushed through the intervals, literally and figuratively. Congratulations. She is so beautiful.
Yeah, congratulations to that great family. And Jenna as well, we miss you, and come back soon.